Like, how big is your dick in space?
Like
Nobody
Star
can
Wars.
hear you scream in space, but how big is your erection in space?
The Tomato Pulpit.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Welcome, 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 welcome
Yo.
to the Tomato Pulpit. A long return, long awaited return. So many things happening, so many things to talk about.
It's a dreadful time.
But alas, we present upon the pulpit today just to shoot some shit, talk about some shit, mostly America's shit.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. But first, I'm your host, Mike Tomato. Did I introduce myself already? Did I introduce myself for a second time?
No. That's Mike Tomato. I'm Tom Sofa.
Hell yeah. This is the Tomato Pulpit, the existential dread function where I shoot the news.
Yeah.
Tom Sofa. But I don't really want to shoot news today, but I am going to give you news.
Bring it.
That's what we're going to do. Just little pieces of hot goss that just like recently came upon my newsfeed as you took Harry out that I wanted to talk about. Did you see Jeff and his rocket exploded?
Did it really?
Yeah, it exploded. I guess late last night.
That's awesome.
His little blue-orange cock rocket
He never stood a chance.
just exploded. I guess he really can't come for Elon these days.
Yeah.
The 2 billionaire boys and their cock rockets.
Somebody's got their rocket.
I mean, Elon's doesn't look as penis-shaped as Jeff's.
You think that's what it's all about?
I think so. I think it is. I think it is a dick measuring competition.
Okay.
Yeah, but in space.
Yeah. That's cool.
Like, how big is your dick in space?
Like Star
Nobody
Wars.
can hear you scream in space, but how big is your erection in space?
With gravity? Probably pretty erect.
Could be bigger.
I would think pretty erect.
I know. You got to be careful if you're flying around the tubes and stuff.
Damn.
You can really whack that thing.
Never thought about that.
You can really whack that thing. But yeah, I saw this rocket explode, and I was like, good. Fuck you, Jeff. I hope all your rockets explode.
Damn.
I do. I hope all your fucking rockets explode, Jeff.
You just, that's the camera.
I know, but I was looking here for a second. So whatever, Jeff. Looking at the correct camera this time.
Jesus.
All right. The last thing I want to talk about in hot news. California. They're looking for a new governor. So the current governor, Pretty Boy Newsom, he's term limit out. He can't be governor anymore. So it's a hot pack of Democrats who are trying to figure out how to run the state. And there's some hot goss and tea that had happened.
What's the tea? Tell the goss.
It's a lot of goss. It's not good tea. Like it's kind of bad. So there's this guy named Eric Swalwell.
Okay. I already don't like him, by the way, just by his last name.
Just by the name, I know. Just by the name. He was a not a Republican. He was a Democrat congressperson from California. I think his history is like cops. I think he has like a history of like being a cop and his family's cops and that kind of vibe. He was like a pain in Jim Jordan's ass in the oversight committee. I think he was just like one of the big objectors to Jim Jordan, and it like put him on an not international, but like a national stage. It was like, ooh, who is this guy who's giving Jim Jordan all this shit? Wow, we should look at him. Okay, so we did. We looked at him, and we're like, wow, maybe you could be governor. He runs for governor. Scandal. Bombshell, sex scandal. This man is like Epstein level sexual offender.
Oh my God.
Like this dude is allegedly out here drugging girls, raping girls. I don't know about the ages, but he's doing it. And this all just like came out in the last month.
Jesus.
So his political career is donezo. And it's in I don't know. I thought he could have won. He was going to win, most likely, if this didn't happen. He was the front runner. So now it's like it's a who's who of a real fucking motley crew of candidates.
Yeah.
So the big winner that I think for the Democrats is going to be Tom Steyer.
Okay.
Which is already a problem because he's a progressive billionaire, which is an oxymoron.
Bad news.
But he's saying all the right things. Like he's saying he wants to tax billionaires. He definitely believes climate change is fucking real
Hmm.
and all that jazz. So I like where his campaign is, or at least I like what his campaign is saying. What he would be as governor, I don't know. I don't know if it's one thing of where like I'm just gonna say all the good stuff to get you involved and then totally flip
Right.
once I'm in office, which is more American than apple pie.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, John Fetterman is probably the best example of that. But anyway, listener, that's not what I wanted to talk about. I told Tom Sofa we'd be discussing 3 potential topics today that I have prepared upon the pulpit. I do want to talk primaries. I want to talk the midterm primaries. I want to
Oh,
talk
yeah.
2 races in particular that I thought were very fascinating, and they're kind of hot in the news. And then the next thing that I want to talk about is going to be SpaceX, Elon's IPO, which is going to be wild. And then I want to finish with one little conspiracy theory about China.
Hey,
Ooh, you're going to get yelled at.
go lay down. Go on your spot.
You're going to get yelled at.
Go on your spot. Go.
Yeah.
Go lay down.
So while Harry decides on what to do, let's talk about Kentucky's 4th congressional district. What do you know about Kentucky's 4th?
Nothing.
You ever heard of her?
Not a fucking thing.
She is great. Not
Okay.
really. She's like a suburb of Cincinnati. She's at like the northern end of Kentucky. But the guy who was their representative was Thomas Massey.
Mm-hmm.
Does that name ring any
Yeah,
bells?
for sure. I don't know why.
Because he was the Epstein Act guy.
Mm.
But anyway, he ended up losing his primary.
Okay.
And Massey is kind of I don't know I don't know where I put him in my psyche, because there are parts of him that I think are cool, and there are parts of him that I think are fucking loony.
Yeah.
So he's a smart guy. Like, grew up in Kentucky, went to MIT. He has a really fucking sick electronic chicken coop.
Okay.
And I was like, that's dope.
Okay.
But then he's also like crazy libertarian conservative, like Christmas family portrait is everyone holding a rifle kind of experience.
Whoa.
Like kind of experience.
Yeah.
And like voted with Trump on like a lot of
Course.
on a lot of these issues. So he's not like a great guy, but there are things about him that are pretty cool, and he seems to be of a principled guy.
Yeah.
Like, where the Republican Party and most Democrats, like, these people they don't believe in anything. They don't believe in anything. They believe in whatever gets them elected.
Right.
Whereas Massey, it did seem that like he did stand on principles, which in this Republican Party is a rarity. But the reason why his race was a big deal, why this primary was a big deal, because it was the most expensive primary in American history.
How much was it?
It cost over $32 million
Oh my God.
for
Can I have $32
primary.
million?
A primary.
That's ridiculous.
This isn't even deciding who's going to be in office. This is deciding who gets to run against the other person who's going to be in office.
That's sickening.
This is insane. And okay, but I like a little backtrack. So the reason why Massey is like this big figure now is because of the Epstein Transparency Act, which he did with Ro Khanna of California,
Mm-hmm.
which is like it forced the government to release all the files. Great, love that. We support women. Israel and the rest of the Trump administration obviously don't like that.
Right.
So Israel, in the final days of the primary campaign, had pumped in $9 million against Massey.
Oh my God.
$9 million, which ended up giving the other guy the lead. And the other guy who Massey was running against would even fucking debate him. Like, these people, they have no ideas. They stand on nothing. It's all power. They are figureheads for the gods amongst us. That's all they are.
Hmm.
And what infuriates me the most about this is the fact that this Israel part of the primary is not getting a lot of coverage.
Of course not.
Because here's my theory, listener. So, if you remember, after Kamala lost, the Democratic Party was like, we're going to do a new autopsy of why the Democrats lost this presidential election. There's a really good interview with John Favreau of the Pod Save America guys with the DNC chair. I might plug in a little bit. I might not. Stay tuned, listener. I'll link it, whatever. But he gets on Pod Save America, the DNC chair, and he's like, "Yeah, we did this autopsy, but we're not going to release it. We're not going to tell you what we found."
What?
Yeah, exactly. Turned into this huge like scandal type of thing. All the Democrats were like, "Fuck you." They ended up releasing it, but it's a hodgepodge of absolute bullshit because
Yeah.
the guy they hired had no business doing it. He had no idea what he was doing. He just wasted all this money. So, to the reports of this autopsy that was released, everyone's saying that like the Democrats need to move to the middle, and I say you can go fuck yourself. And the one thing that really annoys me that the autopsy doesn't comment on, and why I think it wasn't released initially, this is my opinion, is that the autopsy would have shown that Israel's the reason Kamala lost. That in the
Mm,
final days of the election, because Israel clearly wanted Trump to win, Netanyahu clearly wanted Trump to win. Absolutely. So in the final days, they pushed a shit ton of money in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and that caused Kamala to lose.
my God.
That's my theory. And this is all legal. This is all what the Supreme Court wrought in Citizens United,
Yeah.
which super fun and fresh thing might be happening. I think it's in Hawaii. So Citizens United says that corporates have a right to free speech. But corporations aren't people. Corporations are made by people. They're made by the state. Corporations are entities of states.
Right.
So corporations, all their power comes from the state. So if the state says the corporations no longer have the power to give money to elections or campaigns or PACs, then that would make Citizens United moot.
Mm.
If that like somehow succeeds its way through the court system and we can finally get rid of Citizens United, please fucking do so.
Please.
I will give you my left nut for that to happen.
Okay.
So yeah, kind of fun and fresh. I don't really love Israel in our elections,
No.
but it is what it is. We can't stop
Is
it.
it is what it is?
We can't stop it unless we get rid of Israel, and that's not for us to decide.
It is real what it is real. Am I right?
It is. It is real. It is real. It is real. It is real.
It is real what I'm saying, right?
It is real. It is real.
That's so fucked up.
It is so fucked up. And let's get into another absolutely fucked up primary.
Can
And
we
this.
talk? Okay, go
Oh
ahead.
no. You. So what you gonna say?
You know what? Is what you're gonna say similar to what you've been talking about? Or are you about to hit a different topic?
No, same
Stay
primaries.
same. Stay same.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna talk one more primary election that I
Yeah.
thought was mucho fascinato.
I've got a change of topic, just temporary.
Oh,
Nothing crazy.
Write it down so you don't forget.
I'm not gonna forget it.
Okay, great. We're gonna move on to Texas.
Let's do it.
We're gonna talk Texas. So Texas, the Republican primary happened for Senate. And this one we're looking at a incumbent named John Cornyn versus a new fucking real piece of shit named Ken Paxton. Who is Ken Paxton? He's the current Texas Attorney General.
Okay.
And this man is insane. His backstory is like an Air Force brat. So he like grew up and like kind of bounced around the United States, it seems. And there's really nothing cool about him. Like Massey, at least he had a really cool chicken coop. Paxton ain't got fucking shit.
Okay.
This guy just sucks. So he is the current AG and an extreme douchebag. Like I cannot describe more of a douchebag than Ken Paxton.
Right.
Because his whole career, it seems, especially as the AG, is to destroy women's rights, particularly abortion.
Hmm.
He is the reason why Texas is currently a shitstorm of reproductive rights as it is.
Yeah.
And I want to give one story about why Ken Paxton is an absolute garbage person. So Texas passed their insane abortion laws. Now, there were some exceptions for like certain illnesses and life of the mother and yada, yada, yada. But it has to like meet this list of criteria laid out in the statute. So this woman, her name was, what do I have here? Kate Cox. Pregnant woman. Her baby was not going to make it. It was going to have something called Edwards syndrome. So it was going to have malformations of its heart, all this jazz. It was not going to live most likely outside of the mom.
Right.
You know, so to preserve the mother, you would terminate the pregnancy.
Sure.
And based on the statute, a judge in Texas had said, yes, this baby that has Edward syndrome or whatever qualifies to be aborted. Like, this meets the criteria. Ken Paxton says, no, you can go fuck yourself. Any physician that performs the abortion will be prosecuted. The judge, you're a loony. So he forced Kate Cox to go outside of Texas to get reproductive care. He would not let this woman, even though it was approved by a judge and it met the law, he would not let it happen because he's insane. He's a psychopath.
That is insane.
Like, this guy is Handmaid's Tale, like, to the nth degree. And even his own party fucking hates him.
Yeah.
So in 2003, he was impeached by his own fucking party because he was stealing money. So there was I don't know the full story, but to my understanding, there was like a whistleblower lawsuit, and there was a settlement of like $3 million or something. And the whistleblower settlement was against Paxton. Like, the whistleblowers were against the AG office. And somehow Paxton convinced the legislature to give that money back to the AG office, and he just took that in or something. Something to that effect. But he was impeached, and he was and he lost the impeachment. Like, he's still the AG, so I don't understand how that works.
Interesting.
But in the final days of the election of this primary, Trump endorsed him, and he won.
Of course he did.
So it was a runoff. There was originally like the original primary, and it was Cornyn, the incumbent, versus him. This goes to the runoff. And in the initial election, he wasn't far ahead of Cornyn. Like, it was a close election. But in this runoff with Trump's endorsement, he just exploded. He just blew Cornyn out of the water.
Ridiculous.
And Cornyn sucks. Like, I don't want to say like Cornyn is he's better in the sense that he's just maybe been in the Senate, so he's less likely to be a complete fucking Nazi.
Right.
But he's still Nazi-ish.
Yeah.
You know? This is Texas we're talking about, you guys. Like, it is. And the Democrats say they like this. They say they like Paxton as the Republican candidate because he's going up against James Tallarico, who is this like Christian moonface wonder boy for the Democratic side. He's he actually seems like a really upstanding guy. So they can't get him on religion. So they can't get him on this, like, you're not Christian, anti-abortion stuff, because he's like, his history is like as a pastor or some shit. He has also history as like public education. So like, you can't say he doesn't care about the kids or whatever. To my understanding, he doesn't have like a big scandal history. The only thing that I was able to learn is that like he followed some OnlyFans models on Instagram.
Okay. That's allowed.
So like, he's not he
Not for
doesn't
me.
seem to have like a lot of scandal, and he's saying the right things. Like, he's definitely saying like the billionaires are the problem, and let's make that the message, and it's working. So there's a lot of hope right now that with Paxton being batshit crazy and Tallarico being this kind of like, centrist religious type of figure, that he could swing Texas blue.
Damn.
So there's a lot of hope.
Okay.
I have a lot of hope that we can make Texas at least partly blue, because Ted Cruz is still there, unfortunately.
Harry's hopeful too.
Thank you, Harry. We're gonna need it, bud.
Hmm.
I'm gonna register you to vote illegally, and we're gonna do it together.
Perfect.
So those are the primaries. Look, Illinois already had ours. We're done. We
Yeah.
don't really matter anymore. We're just waiting for the rest of the country. But a scary thing about these primaries is that in the closed primaries, so that means like Republicans can only vote for Republicans, Democrats can only vote for Democrats. The Trump chosen candidate in the closed primaries is winning very handedly.
Yikes.
So that is concerning, that there is still this like energetic aspect of the Trump base, or that the Republican Party is still swinging to this like ultra mega fascist
Yeah. Hate
nonsense.
that.
All nonsense. So that's my impression.
Not fresh.
Be on the lookout. Watch out for Israel and watch out for Texas.
Always.
Okay, next story. Talk about SpaceX.
Oh yeah.
Talk about another rocket. Another man in his cock rocket. This one I want to talk about SpaceX's IPO. So SpaceX, they're gonna jump onto the NASDAQ. Have you heard of this?
I have.
So everyone's losing their minds because is Elon Musk going to be the world's first trillionaire? It all depends on the valuation of their IPO. Do you think he's going to be the first trillionaire?
I'm gonna say no.
No. You
I'm
don't
gonna-
think he's going to get it?
I'm gonna vote no.
You think the valuation is going to be below $1 trillion?
I don't know.
Okay. If the valuation is $1 trillion, I think then that does make him the first trillionaire.
But I'm voting for
think
no.
so.
I'm voting for no.
I hope he doesn't because it doesn't make sense. SpaceX being valued at over $1 trillion. If you just look at the simple numbers, I'm not a rocket physician. I'm not a rocket economist. I know this. But if you just look at the simple facts of like the company's revenue, it doesn't make sense. The math don't fucking math.
Yeah.
So SpaceX, this is why SpaceX is like getting this crazy valuation. It's because of all these mergers that it did. So earlier this year, it merged or it bought whatever the fuck, I don't know exactly the term,
yeah.
with his other company, XAI. So to make XAI like a subsidiary of SpaceX. And then on May 20th was when he filed the initial IPO. So the bulk of SpaceX
Real
revenue.
quick, do you know what Blue Origin is?
Yeah, that's Bezos's rocket company.
You know who works there?
Jesus.
Anna Wodar.
There's a Blue Origin?
Yes.
Was she smart? Yeah, she was because she went to MIT, right?
No, she
Am I thinking
didn't.
of the right person?
Now you're thinking of Kate Scott.
Oh, okay.
Anna Wodars.
I thought she went to MIT.
I don't know where Anna Wodars actually went.
I think she went to MIT.
I believe you.
I don't know, but if I remember correctly, she was smart. Why did you just like stumble upon that on LinkedIn?
No, I saw that a while back, and us talking about SpaceX made me think about it, and I wanted to look it up to verify it
Got it.
real quick before I share false information.
Okay. Well, she's probably panicking because their rocket just exploded.
Yeah.
Literally like a couple hours ago. But let's talk Mr. Musk here. So the bulk of SpaceX's revenue, to my understanding, is Starlink,
Yeah.
which only brought in about like $11 billion or so.
Mhm.
Okay. The next is the rockets, which is only going to be about $4 billion. And these are revenues. These aren't profits. This is just from revenue. And then XAI, $3 billion. But we all know AI operates at a loss because it's way more expensive than it costs way more to run than it actually gives out, whatever. So we're looking at just $18 billion in revenue for a company that is seeking over $1 trillion in valuation.
Wow.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. And all of this is deep into the AI hype. Like all of this is because of the AI hype. Like SpaceX could be valued really highly before the XAI merger. I'm sure it probably would have been valued at like a couple hundreds of billions of dollars, whatever, because of Starlink. Great. That makes sense. But the $1 trillion because you added on an AI company that hasn't proven to be profitable whatsoever is insane. We're playing with monopoly money. None of this is real.
Yeah.
And all this is going to do is like artificially inflate the market because the market is desperate for like a company like SpaceX to emerge and get everybody excited. Because nobody's excited about the market because everyone's like waiting for the collapse. So with SpaceX releasing their IPO, they're thinking it's going to be like Saudi Aramco or I don't know, Alibaba when they first released their IPOs and everyone was like, oh my God, what is going on? This is amazing. There's so much money to be had. Yes, love, money. But then it's like, it's not real. Like, you're going to give SpaceX this $1 trillion valuation in the beginning, and then it's going to slowly come to realizations that it's not worth it and it'll never be worth it.
Yeah.
So then we get into my final conspiracy theory. Okay.
Is this not about SpaceX?
This is not about SpaceX anymore.
Okay, so here's what I got. You ready for this?
Yeah, hit me with it.
So this is just something that I kind of want, you know, this is more like just kind of news. This is news stuff. This is something that I want to talk about. I want to see your opinion on it. I imagine that you haven't heard about it. I also imagine that it like doesn't really affect you.
Oh, but it does.
We'll see. So the company PSA, the company that um they grade like sports cards and Pokemon cards and comic books and stuff like that. Okay. And there's a couple other companies, but PSA is the big one.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard any news about this?
No, I have no idea what you're talking
So
about.
they announced that they will are halting taking submission.
Okay.
What does that mean?
So who's going to grade the cards now?
Exactly. So PSA over the last couple years has almost, not quite, almost gained a monopoly
Okay.
in the grading world.
Yeah.
They bought, I believe, CGC, they bought SGC, they bought a couple of these other companies that did grading, and like they still operate as their own company, but parent company like there's no
Yeah.
secrets here.
Yeah.
They like I said, they halted this because have 10 million cards backlogged that they need to that need to be graded.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. So just kind of, first of all, that's just crazy that they would stop accepting submissions. That's just crazy to me,
Yeah.
considering like
Well, it sounds like they either need to hire more people or they need to break up the monopoly.
well, yes and yes, but hiring more people isn't quite that easy. Only because like there's a certain level of service that you want, and a certain like got to make sure that they are, you know, providing the right service, because the grade matters. Like if
I
they
understand.
get a 10, if they get a 9 or whatever, you hire some
but
shitty graders. They're gonna
these are
be.
human beings that do the grading, or this is like an algorithm.
These are human beings. There is a company called Tag that does like AI grading.
Well, that's probably where they're headed.
So there are a couple of other things like that, but like, hold on. Okay, so this year alone, hold on, they're saying massive demand in mid-May 2026. PSA experienced a 20% spike in submissions, adding 1.6 million cards to the backlog in just 2 weeks. 1.6 million submissions
Why?
in 2 weeks were what?
Why?
Why?
Why all of a sudden a spike in submissions?
Um, dude, cards are booming. You know, I know they're not booming in your world, but people are super into them. They're huge right now.
Okay.
Pokemon cards are
Okay.
at an insane all-time high.
Yeah, recession indicator.
Sports cards haven't slowed down.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And I'm seeing like prices for certain like sports cards just fly up. It's getting higher.
Right.
Not to
Okay.
say that they couldn't crash or anything. That's
Okay.
not what I'm saying. But
So what are you saying?
I'm saying this is fucking crazy. It's unprecedented. If a company receives 1.6 million, I understand that's 20% up.
How much does it cost to get a card graded?
Depends on the card.
Oh, okay.
It's more if it's a higher value. It also is
but then who
dependent on the
determines higher
turnaround.
value?
Depends on the turnaround time. What was your question?
If the grading company determines the value of the card,
Right.
and the value of the card determines the price to
So
grade,
the value of the card already has a raw value,
just based on
just based
the
on
ether of the market.
based on the market. Correct.
Okay.
I could go grab a card and I could show it to you, be like, look, this is a $200 card.
Okay.
I could go on Facebook and I could sell it for $200 right now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have any problems.
Yeah. Okay.
Then you grade it. You send it in to be graded. maybe let's say if it's a $200 card, maybe it costs you $60, $50.
And that's gonna give me $100 more dollars.
And then they're gonna grade it. And then if it grades a 10, if it's a $200 raw card, it might now be a $2,000 card or a
Okay.
$1,300 card
Okay.
or whatever. Huge,
So the grading.
huge come up. But then on top of that, PSA is then going to take another couple percent of the total value because it's worth more too.
So okay.
But that's not determined until the grade is decided.
And when do they take that percentage?
After the grade is decided. So like if it doesn't grade
But you
that,
don't make any money when you just get it graded. You only make the money when you sell. So how do they get the money?
it's still worth money holding it. The market is that expansive where it's
so are people leveraging loans off of these cards, and that's how it's working?
dude, people are trading cards for cars. People are, and vice versa, like
Okay, yeah. So they are treating this as capital.
100%.
So is there like in the contract that you sign with PSA to have it graded, like, all right, they now have a percentage of the capital if you decide to sell, some of that money has to go to people?
They that part gets added onto your bill before they send it back to you.
So what if you can't afford the card after it's graded?
Your car, well, they can send it back without it being graded. They just won't grade it.
Okay. They just won't put their stamp on it.
Well, stamp plus the encapsulated plastic thing.
Okay, like a special case.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you drop it, it's not gonna
Yeah, I understand.
ding or whatever.
I'm just thinking that, like, I feel like you can just easily forge that.
You would think so, but there's a barcode and there's like a scanner on it too. It's not,
Okay.
you can't just easily forge it. There's
don't know.
there's a certain,
Somebody's out there forging it.
for sure. I am not denying that. All I'm saying is this news from PSA is crazy. Initially, it was approximately like $25, $20 to $25. When I started into cards, it was like $18. $20 to $25 per card
Mhm.
to get graded. And then you got to pay for shipping and whatever. I heard, I don't know what's true. It might go up to like $80 a card. So what does this do to the market is what I'm trying to understand, is what I'm trying to talk about, is what does this do to cards that are already graded? What does this do to, like right now, generally a raw card is worth almost, for the most part, is worth like as much as like a graded PSA 8 or 9 sometimes, unless
Yeah.
it's a really popular card. I think that this will then make a PSA 9 worth more, a PSA 8 worth more. It's going to factor more into the cost of grading because grading costs are going to go up. So it should, I would think.
Just on like a supply side
would-
economics policy, yeah.
I think.
So it just sounds like card grading and card collecting has become more expensive, right?
Yeah, just because they're yes,
Like this new grading thing that PSA is rolled out,
this isn't new.
or whatever they're doing, this pause
Okay.
is going to cause an inflationary effect because it's going to create more demand.
Yeah.
Or like the supply is not going to be able to be processed through the system fast enough, or
Right.
whatever. So historically, inflation causes a slowdown in the markets.
Right.
But I don't know, because I don't really fucking know cards.
I'm just saying. I just, it's new news. It's news to me, and it's
Well, it definitely
It's
sounds
weird.
like you card collectors should unite and get rid of that fucking monopoly.
the thing is they've been like it's been slow acquisitions. Like they just acquired, I think, this like a big one last year. And and it's been over the last couple years. But it's just crazy, man. It's honestly crazy. So,
It is crazy. Market consolidation.
um,
That's part of late stage capitalism.
so I hope that it booms. Is what I'm kind of trying to say. I just hope that it fucking booms, but not too much, but
I
enough.
don't know. I can't say.
I've already seen, like, just in the past couple days, I've seen like certain cards that I have like gain value that are popular cards, but they haven't really gained much value in a while.
Yeah.
So don't know.
Hmm.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if people start buying, like trying to buy more like cards that are already graded instead of buying, because one of the big ways to flip was you buy the card raw, then you send it into grade, and then it's worth more money,
Yeah.
and then you sell it when when you have the official grade to it. But now I'm thinking that it'll be significantly tougher if they raise the prices on that. It's not going to be possibly as worth it to do that. And then
Well,
you're
it
going
does
to want
also just seem like by a circumstance of the pause, there will eventually be less graded cards in circulation,
less graded cards in
in
circulation.
theory, if they continue to stop grading cards. So what's currently graded is all that's going to be. And then those cards will be destroyed, lost, whatever. So there'll just be a slower, or there'll be a dwindling market unless
Hmm.
they decide to add more.
Interesting.
So I don't know, but that's something to think about. But you want to get into a conspiracy theory?
Yeah. Sorry to go off on a tangent.
No. That's fun. That's fresh. I love a Monopoly. I do.
It's a fun board game.
But a little theory. Just a quick little. I want to like tease your brain on a theory. I have very limited evidence, and it's all conjecture. But so recently, have you heard when Trump took all the business leaders to China?
Yeah, I did hear about that. Are you about to talk about them? I think I heard this conspiracy. Did you tell me it or did I see it somewhere else?
I don't know.
I saw it on TikTok.
About the gold standard?
No. I thought they were like trying to walk Trump around as much as they could to see how like
Well, Trump's an idiot.
yeah.
And he's dying. He went to Walter Reed for like the third time in like 4 months.
Yeah.
Like just the other day.
Hmm.
But yeah, he's lost it. He's like falling asleep in interviews. Did you see the video of him cutting in front of the Queen of England to shake hands with his own fucking cabinet?
Crazy.
Because he's so fucking delusional, he doesn't know where he is.
Crazy.
But no, this is my theory on this China thing. I didn't necessarily make this theory. There's this guy on YouTube called Andrew Jick, I think, is the video that I found. And he has like I'll link it, but it's like a super in-depth theory on like possible reasons as to why all these business leaders, why the American oligarchs essentially went to China.
Yeah.
And he believes gold.
Hmm.
He believes it's going to be gold. So we are famously not on a gold standard. Like the current American dollar and economic system is just backed on the belief that Americans can pay their debts.
Yeah.
Really it. But we were once on the gold standard. We were previously before before Nixon, I think. I think Nixon is the one that changed it, or Nixon or Reagan, one of the guys changed it. I don't remember exactly. I'm not a historian. But we were on a gold standard, and then after World War II, the US dollar became the global reserve currency, and there wasn't enough gold. The US didn't have enough gold to match every dollar that needed to be in circulation to make the economy grow, so they took the dollar off the gold standard.
Hmm.
But now we're in this new kind of like bond crisis where nobody's buying American bonds anymore. And that's like the foundation of the American market. And I guess since America's freaking out about that and the power dynamic of that, it is shifting to where since the American bond market is fading, it's, I don't know, shifting economic markets to like polar systems. Like there's Eastern Asia, polarity, Europe, whatever. Like things are happening. The world is shifting away from the single American dollar.
Mhm.
And the business leaders saw the writing on the wall. So they go to China. China has the most gold. They've been collecting the most gold out of anybody.
Mhm.
And when that happens, they have essentially like authority on where the world market's going to go in terms of like currency and currency valuation. So this guy is presenting a theory that the bigwigs, they go to China and they're like, let's get everybody back onto the gold standard. Let's get the dollar off. We're going to devalue the dollar and we're going to get everybody onto the gold standard. We're going to get the dollar on the gold standard to like make the economy less fucked because everybody's just drowning in debt that goes to nobody.
Sick.
Something to that effect. I can flesh it out a little bit deeper, but I'm more into this. Like, what piqued my fascination about this whole idea of one, of going back to the gold standard is great. I love this idea of returning back to like real money, and that's why everyone's buying gold again. Like everyone's trying to buy like real assets. But
So back.
I am thinking of like, we're definitely in this moment, whether you believe it or not, it's happening where like the United States is going to shift out of power. Like our empire is collapsing actively.
Right.
And that means the United States dollar is not going to be the reserve currency anymore. That's just a fact of history. So what is it going to be? Is it going to be gold? Is it going to be the Chinese yuan? Or is it going to be the euro? Or is it going to be crypto? Is it going to be like blockchain technology? That is where I'm kind of losing it because I want to like, I'm a conservative at heart. I want to maintain like something that I understand, which is like gold and tangible physical assets.
Yeah.
I don't like this idea of blockchain and like having the whole economic system go digital. I don't like that. That doesn't give me comfort. That doesn't give me solace. Because what that says to me is like whoever owns the internet now owns all the money. Because if you need the internet to exchange money, and if you need the internet to even get on to whatever system uses money,
Yeah.
like in theory, I guess like the internet, I don't know, maybe not. If the internet collapsed today, would money still work? Maybe.
I don't know.
But if it was a strictly blockchain technology, say the world gets fried by like a solar flare and it's a global
Everything's free.
EMP disaster,
Everything's free.
I don't like it. Like at least like if
then we really go to sports cards.
Literally, because if the world was fried now, we can at least go back to like bartering and there'd be some foundation of like standard material economics. But if we were like fully digital for like decades and decades and decades and then get fried, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know. I'm thinking about all these things and I don't know where to put my resources as I'm believing and I'm witnessing the transition of the global currency.
Right.
And I don't know what to do, but this meeting with China is what's sparking my tinglies into the conspiracy realm.
China.
And it is China. China will set probably the world currency and what that's going to be. And there obviously is some dealing that's going to happen in terms of like, because we need China as China needs us. Like China bought a shit ton of our debt, but China needs us to buy their shit. Like they need access to American markets because if they don't, they're going belly up.
Right.
And if China doesn't give us money, then we're going belly up. So we are in this like, we hate you, but we need you type of rivalry system. And China's going to win inevitably because they've played the game longer.
Yeah.
And they've done better at, I don't want to say isolating themselves, but they've done better at containing their shit.
Right.
Where the United States, we think we're the police officers of the universe, and so we have to go into everything, be everywhere, and do everything. Where China's just like, we're only going to go to where we need to be. And that has worked out very well for them. And that is partly why I believe the United States will collapse and China is going to become like the diva, is because historically, anytime an empire gets too big, they spread too far, their debt gets too big, they collapse.
I hate to say this, I'm kind of down.
I'm so down for the collapse. When the S&P dropped a couple days ago, I was like, fuck, yes, fuck, yes, fuck, yes, fuck, yes.
But it's still doing pretty good.
But it's all fucking monopoly money. It's all fake. It's all hype. It's all MLM bullshit. Like none of this is real. AI is real. Okay, there are going to be certain aspects to artificial intelligence that do change the world. I don't disagree with that. But it's not the solution.
No,
It isn't. It can't be.
can't
Oh,
be.
and here's one other thing that kills me about SpaceX, to bring it back to the last thing that I was talking about before the conspiracy. So SpaceX, part of why they were valued at, or why they claim that they should be valued at $1 trillion, is because they're going to put data centers in space. That's the $1 trillion business idea that's going to give them that money.
Don't love that.
It's not possible. I mean, sure, maybe with like decades of technology advancement, but currently right now, we cannot build data centers in space.
Yeah.
So to be currently valued at that number is insane,
Yeah.
because this is Enron. This is all Enron. This is, oh my God, I'm losing my mind.
You are.
This is all Enron. It's all fucking fake accounting. It's all this idea of like, yeah, we think this is what it's going to be, or we expect this money to be here by this time, and then it never shows up.
Of course.
And there's a famous video of Mark Cuban going around where he says like, they're just shitting away that money. They're just shitting it away. They're never going to fucking get it. And that's what I
Crazy.
think. They're never going to fucking get it. And so my theory of OpenAI going belly up might stand.
Could happen.
Because OpenAI, I think Anthropic is gonna beat OpenAI for the reason because Anthropic is built for enterprise and OpenAI is built for consumer. Or Anthropic can scale much easier, and their contracts are longer, higher value, whatever. Where OpenAI is just trying to get the people.
Right.
We're unreliable.
Hmm.
But if you get the United States government that says we'll guarantee you with $20 billion for 10 years, that looks much better to investors, and it's a much better stable platform to build a company off of, versus OpenAI, who's just like, yeah, we're going to build these subscription models, and then half of our customer base is going to fall off because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
And then only the small section of customers can actually use like the top products because they're the only ones that can actually afford it. It's just not cute.
Not cute.
Not cute.
Not cute at all, low key.
And I don't really have anything hopeful to end this tomato pulpit with. So sorry, listener.
No hope?
You know what? Here's my hope. Register to vote and go find a Nazi and kick him in the nuts.
There you go.
That's my hope.
Register and kick the Nazi. I love that.
That is my hope. But I have nothing else on this pulpit. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so, man. I think we kind of crushed it, to be honest. I think the people are going to be super stoked.
Well, thanks. Welcome back. I'm hopefully going to do more of these.
Yeah, we're not done.
We're not done. We're just getting started. We're coming for you, fucking Jeffrey. Thank you for delivering my air filters the other day, though. I needed those.
Kind of some king shit, low key.
So that was really fucked up, but okay. All right. Goodbye.
Peace.